What's up, guys? Welcome to a new YouTube video. This one is going to be super applicable for a lot of you just based on the questions I've been getting in my DMs, which is how to get back into the gym or into a lifestyle oriented around your health and fitness, how to get back into working out and looking after your health, looking after your energy, because one of the most common things is people either not having been a part of this journey before or having fallen off many times. And a lot of you right now are probably in a point where you've fallen off for a week or a month or a year or multiple years, or you've not even entered this journey yet. And so I want to give you a clear, nothing more, nothing less roadmap and mindset shift list that you can implement today to literally get the ball rolling in a sustainable way. Because it's one thing to receive a strategy and a set of tips that works. It's another thing to receive a set of strategy and tips that actually works for the busy entrepreneur, professional lifestyle when you have a bunch of stuff going on, when you're building your vision and you want to become the elite version of yourself mentally and physically at the same time, because it's a different ballpark, okay? So I want to give you the tips and strategies to get in the best shape you ever have been without taking a second away from building your vision, because that is what I've done, and I know that you wouldn't want to sacrifice either. And so you have to know how to do both at the same time. And so make sure, if this is you, if you are an entrepreneur building your vision right now and health and fitness has been a struggle for you, but you know you need to take control over it, pull out your journal and please write down these points. I have 7 things for you that are super digestible and super actionable that will help you a lot. So please take this seriously. Number 1, define your specific goal. A lot of people head into the fitness and weight loss and energy and health optimization journey with a vague goal. I want to be more fit, I want to be more energized, I want to be more healthy. Define specifics, like make it tangible, make it real. Is it a certain amount of pounds down? Is it pulling a certain picture from Instagram or Google as your dream physique? What is it? Is it a certain health marker? How do you know you're going to have better energy? What does that look like for you? Like, is it the midday dip? Is it, feeling better in the morning? What is it, right? And once you get specific about the version you want to become mentally, health-wise, energetically, you get a clear North Star, something to work towards. Okay, so define that for yourself. In fact, pause the video right now and write down what that is for you, whether it's a certain weight, a certain physique, a certain health improvement, whatever that is for you, write it down. Number 2, define your why. And so define why this is important to you. Don't just leave it as a goal. Give yourself psychological fuel, okay? So define why this is a must. Why must this happen in this exact chapter of your life? Why must you not wait another second, okay? Why is this imperative that you must actually go through this transformation now? What will this do for you? How will this impact your life? And then once you get those answers, ask why those are important. And then once you get those answers, ask why those are important. Get several layers deep here with yourself and get to the root of why this is really important to you. Because once you get there, it's a very sustainable emotional drive that can help you execute when you don't feel like it. Okay? And so define why this is important to you and define also what will happen if you don't become this version of yourself. Okay? So if you remain the version of yourself that has extra weight, that has poor health, that has poor energy, perhaps low confidence, no routines, you're not really able to, execute in your business properly. Why is that a bad thing? Like, what negative impact would that have on your life if that remains the version of yourself another year, another 5 years, another 10 years, right? How would that impact your team's life, your family's life? How would that impact what you want to achieve in life and all the experiences you want to create? How will that affect your lifespan? How will that affect your kids' life, your grandkids' life? How will that affect the example you're showing for others? Get really nasty with yourself here, because what you want to do is, again, stack psychological fuel. You want to light the fire under your ass. You also want to set the vision. So you're creating a stimulus to get away from pain and also move towards pleasure. And this is really powerful when we're talking about starting to move toward a goal and getting in momentum, okay? Next up, identify any limiting beliefs that are there. If there are any, there may not be, but there might. And so if you have a belief such like, I don't have enough time, or I'm big boned, or I have a slow metabolism, or business is too crazy, I'll wait until I scale it a bit more, or the gym's not close enough. There could be a variety of different stories or excuses that have been swirling around in your brain as to why you haven't achieved this result so far in your life. I injured myself a while ago, whatever. The thing is, if there are any of these, if these even feel similar to what you've been saying inside your own head, or if you're saying something different inside your own head, realize that whatever it is has a solution. Okay? I'm not saying that there aren't obstacles. I'm not saying that having minimal time isn't a challenge. I'm not saying that having an injury from the past isn't a challenge. Okay? I'm not saying that any of this isn't hard, but what I am suggesting is that there is a solution. Okay? Every problem has a solution. And so identify if you have been using any excuses, and then identify what the solution is. If it's a time problem, identify the solution there, right? If you have an injury, identify the solution or the course of action there, right? There's always a solution. So I encourage you, if you do have any limiting thoughts or beliefs or excuses, to identify them, be honest with yourself, and then find the solution, because the solution is immediately available. Even if you were to ask yourself, what's the solution to this? You're gonna have 1 to 3 things come to your mind where like, oh, I could just do that. I encourage you to do that. And again, write this down. Next up, define your actionable steps over the next 30 to 90 days. So you can commit to something for 30 days, 90 days, 6 months. Doesn't really matter that much, especially when you're getting into it again or for the first time. Just commit to some low-hanging fruit to get you moving in the right direction. A lot of people overcomplicate this. A lot of people have paralysis by analysis. A lot of people are Googling things and getting like 6 different answers that are kind of like contradicting each other, right? Simplify it for yourself. You know what's good for you. You know 1 to 3 things that are good for you. You could pick a hydration related initiative. You could pick a nutrition, for example, a calorie related initiative or a protein related initiative or both. You could pick a fitness related initiative, such as being in the gym 3 times a week, or being in the gym 5 times a week, or taking a daily walk, or swimming, or whatever it is for you. When you're starting, I want you to tattoo this on your brain right here and right now. It doesn't really matter that much what you commit to get the ball rolling, as long as you get the ball rolling. Okay? So I want you to commit to 1 to 3 things that you know are good for you, that may be a bit difficult, that might push you a bit, but you know will start moving you back in the right direction. Okay? I made a video on weight loss. If you want to know how to track calories and how to get in a calorie deficit to lose weight, for context on how to commit to something there, if you have no idea, okay? But ultimately, just commit to whatever is within your knowledge base right now, okay? This is something that a lot of people kind of get tripped up over. Their knowledge base is minimal, and so they think that all of the answers are also outside their knowledge base, but you have a big enough knowledge base to commit to 1 to 3 things that will move you in the right direction. Jumping jacks, push-ups, walks, whatever your knowledge base is to hit the gym. You know water's good for you. You know sugar's bad for you, right? You know alcohol is bad for you. So you know these things, and you have the information you need to work with to commit to 1 to 3 things to move you in the right direction. Doesn't mean you need to cut out alcohol or cut out sugar, but maybe you could limit it or reduce it. Maybe you could have more water or more veggies. Maybe you could eat a little less calories so you start losing weight. Maybe you can move your body a bit more, right? Like, you don't need to be educated to a large extent to get the ball rolling in the right direction, okay? That's the punchline. Pause the video, commit to your 1 to 3 things in addition to the time frames that you're committing to as well. Are you committing to 3 workouts a week that are 30 minutes, 20 minutes? Are you committing to 4 workouts a week that are 20 minutes? Are you committing to 3 liters of water, 4 liters of water, gallon of water, right? Are you committing to a certain calorie goal, a certain protein intake? 1 to 3 initiatives, get specific, write them down, okay? Pause the video, do that right now. Next up, put it in your calendar, okay? So first of all, if you don't have a digital calendar like Google Calendar or Apple Calendar or whatever, I'd recommend getting one immediately, because it just helps you organize your entire life. I'm actually gonna be making and releasing a YouTube video on that within the next week or 2 as well. Now that I'm saying it out loud, just because of how important it is and how much it's changed my life and my level of high performance and organization. Anyways, I'd recommend creating a digital calendar, okay? You can use a paper agenda or whatever if that's more your style. The point is just putting it in your planning system to actually make it real. A lot of people just say like, oh, I have this goal and I'm gonna do these things. And then 3 days later, they forget about it because they're not looking at anything that actually makes it real. So put it in your calendar or whatever centralized system you have to track your life. And so if you're committing to a certain workouts, put them in your calendar in addition to the the time it takes to drive and to change and to shower after and to drive home, XYZ. Put in, if you're tracking your calories, put in 15 minutes at the end of each day to track your calories, right? Just to make sure it happens each and every single day, right? Whatever that is, get it in your calendar, make it real, make it recurring events, put reminders in your phone, do what you have to do to actually set up the logistics of executing to what you just committed to, okay? Pause the video right here, do that, make it happen, okay? The next 2 things, so that's 1 through 5. I told you I had 7 things to mention to you today. The last 2 here are kind of mindset shifts / mental tools I want you to equip yourself with as you embark on this journey. And number 6 is actually kind of 2 things, but it's the same thing. The first of the 2 here is called standard over schedule, meaning that the standards you just committed to, the 1 to 3 things you just picked to commit to, I need you to execute those no matter what happens with your schedule. So if you commit to 3 workouts in a week, those 3 workouts are happening no matter what happens to your schedule on a day-to-day basis. This doesn't mean that they happen in the exact time and day that you plan them to, but if your schedule gets crazy on Monday and you plan to work out for Monday evening, that means you shift the workout to Tuesday or Wednesday. Or no matter how things fluctuate with your schedule, no matter what happens, you find corners of your week to execute those 3 workouts, okay? Standard over schedule is a great thing, especially for entrepreneurs who have constantly fluctuating schedules, who have to put out a fire here, a meeting came up there, a travel thing came up here, and find a way to still execute. Because a lot of entrepreneurs use their fluctuating schedules and a lot of the fluctuating nature of business as an excuse of why they didn't execute, right? So this mental shift makes up for that, because now you're more flexible. Even if things come up, you're able to still execute, okay? Number 6.5 here is called standard over state. Similar to standard over schedule, you're executing your standard despite a difficult circumstance. In this case, it's state, meaning emotional state, meaning lack of motivation or overwhelm or anxiety or whatever else comes up. And you've already built this skill if you're an entrepreneur, but you have to execute no matter how you feel. And there will be time for rest, mentally and physically. I'm not neglecting that. I think it's important as well. But during those times where you feel lazy or unmotivated especially, that's BS. Don't listen to that, right? Learn to execute despite that. You feel lazy, you feel tired, you feel XYZ, hit the gym anyways, because you're gonna sleep, you're gonna rest, you're gonna recover, all right? So learn to execute during those little instances of lack of motivation, because the second you get in your car and get to the gym, open the gym doors, start working out, it's gonna evaporate anyways, right? So stop listening to those emotions that dictate your behavior and commit to follow through on your standards no matter what, okay? And similar to standard over schedule, if on a certain day you're just exhausted, you got 3 hours of sleep the night before, you just worked 10 hours plus, sure, take the night off, but standard over schedule. Move the workout to the next day or the following day or whatever you need to do. And you can see how these 2 things working together make it like a really sustainable level of consistency with the standards you commit to, okay? So those are just tools you need to equip yourself with. The last thing I want to mention here is that we're all human. We all fall off. It's just life, all right? We get sidetracked, something happens, whatever, we fall off. There's a week where we don't hit our standards or a day we don't hit our standards. In these instances, if this happens to you, it's okay. Don't shit on yourself. Just acknowledge that a mistake was made. Say, hey, look, I committed to these standards. I fell off on this day. I didn't complete this, and this. I deserve better than that. My team, my family, my life. Get back in touch with your why this is important. I must do this for XYZ reason. And despite the fact that I messed up, I'm gonna recommit. I'm gonna get back in momentum tonight or today, right? And I'm gonna finish off the day strong by drinking some water and even going for a little walk. So essentially, the formula here is that acknowledge that a mistake was made, recommit, and then execute immediately. And do this as soon as possible. One of the most fun and encouraging areas of development that we look for in our clients is minimizing their time it takes to bounce back from falling off. Right? And so you can look for this in yourself. You might have been falling off for the last little bit. You might have fallen off for a week or a month or a year or longer, right? Next time you fall off, don't let one bad day turn into 2. Don't let 1 hour turn into 2. And this is how you become a bounce back machine and never fall off again. Because falling off for an hour isn't really falling off, or falling off for a day isn't really falling off, right? It's just getting knocked down temporarily and you get right back up. And this is how your momentum goes from going up and then there's a little blip and then it continues to go up. Whereas before it would go up and then it would just go back down to square one. And then you slowly build back momentum, boom, back down to square one, right? Bounce back quickly. So in whatever way you mess up, the first half of the day, the first half of the week, whatever it is, draw a line in the sand, say, hey, this is a fresh present moment. I have the power of control here to get back on track. I'm gonna commit to X, Y, Z, and then get the ball rolling. Execute, make a statement to yourself that you're back on track. Everything I just mentioned will give you the tools to get clarity and get a momentum sustainably to start achieving your goals and to ultimately become the elite version of yourself that you know you can and should become in order to max out your true potential in life. So I hope this helped. If you want custom one-on-one guidance to actually become your elite self and to get in the best shape of your life, feel free to click the link below. But besides that, as you can tell, my intent today was just to provide you some value and get you moving in the right direction. So I hope this video did just that. And feel free to check out some other videos as well. There might be some stuff that will provide you just as much, if not more, value on the channel. Feel free to like and subscribe if you did find this valuable, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.